Alright. I believe I am live. I pressed the button. I pressed the button. Alright, yes, it's looking like I am indeed live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well today. This fine Thursday, I believe it is. It is Thursday, right? I'm not off a day. It would be suck if I am. No, it's it is that day there. Alright, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing this fine Thursday? Now, a little bit of background info when it comes to Necromunda hired gun. Sorry if I'm still recovering from my cold, so if there's a little bit of nasaliness, I apologize. Hopefully there won't be any. Overall, my history with Necromunda hired gun is pretty simple. I played the game, well, let's go all the way back. When the game was first announced as a 40k YouTube channel at the time, I was super hyped for it. I was like, oh god, we're getting a new one, we're getting an FPS, and all of the gameplay footage we saw was pretty exciting. There was a lot of visceral action. It seemed very much like it was based on Doom. There was lots there that was exciting. But as all 40k fans, especially if you're fans of the gaming side of 40k, will I would hope anyway, know, 40k games since Dawn of War haven't exactly been the most refined or polished gaming experience. There's been a lot of duds. There's been a lot of this game is clearly recommended, but this game is one you wouldn't want to play ever. Fire Warrior, anybody? Anyway, so 40k video games have had a bit of a rocky history, but thankfully we've had some good ones, and even despite how this game came out, which due to my excitement I bought it, I played it day one, and I streamed it day one. I attempted to stream this game for 3 days in a row with zero success. Also, welcome Nathan and Karn. I don't know if Nathan's still here, but welcome Karn. Let's see if the animations are fixed. Fingers crossed. But I played this game. I attempted to play this game for 3 days in a row when it first came out. The problem was, especially if you were there at the time during the channel's history, that wasn't really possible. It didn't matter how much I lowered the graphics. It didn't matter how much I altered the settings. The game simply, on a fundamental level, refused to function. On the lowest settings, and keep in mind, the PC build I have now was the one I had then. I had a 2080 Super graphics card, an i9-97K CPU. I had a brand new A50G power supply. I had a fairly new motherboard, and I had 32 gigabytes of RAM. These are considered still at this current moment above average in terms of PC build and functionality. Yes, I know the 3090 and the 30 series of graphics cards are all the hot shit right now, but considering how hard it is to get your hands on those and how expensive they are, I still have what's considered a higher end PC. As of this current generation, because of how few people actually got their hands on that hardware and tech. So the fact that I could not stream this game on anything above low graphics, and even then, it was like every couple of minutes it dropped to 10 frames a second. That is how poorly optimized this game was. And I did all the benchmarking to see what was going on. This game hogged like a fucking... I don't even know if I have a comparison. Like this thing hogged so much of the GPU. And even when you had it on low graphics, it seemed to demand your graphics card's full attention. This is like one of those psycho exes you have that when you start dating somebody else, they start stalking you and demanding your attention and doing whatever they can to get you to focus on them again. It's kind of what it felt like. This is even on low graphics, this fucking thing barely functioned in streaming format. Now, for a normal player, when I played it off stream, it functioned perfectly fine. I played it on high graphics. I played it at 60 FPS, and the only problem I had as a player was crashing. This game crashed pretty constantly while playing for the first month or so. Around the first major update they had for the game is when that got fixed for me. I didn't have an issue. Problem is, due to all the problems I had with streaming and the fact that I did need to prioritize the games I was streaming over playing too many games in my spare time, I didn't actually end up playing past a certain point in Hired Gun. So, other than the first, like, I want to say like 2-3 hours, I want to say 2 to 4 hours, the first 2 to 4 hours worth of the game, I haven't really gotten through. So, if we're able to make this game work today, I'm gonna play through the game. That's why there's a emoji and a question mark at the beginning of the title. That's usually where I put the number. Like this is the number episode of this streaming series. The question mark is there because if this stream, I have the settings right now in its current updated build. I have everything pretty much on ultra or epic, as this one has. I have epic anti-aliasing quality, high shadows quality, post-processing quality epic, textures quality epic, effects quality high. I have everything turned the fuck up. I've turned everything high up, so the game should, by all accounts, stream just fine. And even before streaming it today, I streamed it on my Discord last night while talking with some friends, just to see if that kind of streaming worked. And that's less demanding than YouTube-style streaming with the encoding process, but it's still similar enough that it was worth it as a benchmark test. And it worked fine. Everyone in the little group chat said, "Oh yeah, it looks fine." So, if that holds true here, and so far I'm looking at the thing, I don't see any frame drops, I don't see anything going on in the menu screen. So, we're doing pretty good. We made it this far, which is farther than I made it before with the frame rates last time I streamed this. So, by the looks of it so far, it looks like they've optimized it. Looks like they have fixed it. They have fixed its weirdly obsessive demand on your GPU. It's looking like that from the menu that they fixed that. We're going to start a new campaign and see if that holds true for actually playing the game. This stream room is bad. Thankfully for a normal player, never had frame issues, but I do have. Also, welcome T-Bone, and welcome to the stream. Yeah, as a stream it was terrible, and like I said, as a player, it worked fairly fine. But because of its demand on the GPU, you could not stream it. Because of that, to stream something, by the way, for those who don't know how it works, streaming software uses your GPU, uses part of your GPU's power to stream. It's how it encodes the video data and then sends it out as information to streaming websites, to Discord, whatever the case may be. So, if you're just playing the game, you don't need to worry about that because the game is the focus of the GPU. You don't, as long as you're not doing anything else on your PC that would require GPU usage, the game is the only thing holding on to that. So it's the only thing that needs to prioritize. In the case of streaming, you need at least like 10-20% of your GPU to also stream. So that's why this game was so poorly optimized that even on low graphics, for some reason, it still hogged the fucking GPU. Like, we're talking 95% of the GPU it demanded, even on low graphics. And it doesn't, in my humble opinion, this game doesn't look great on low graphics. It looks polygonal. So why the fuck was it demanding shit on low graphics? Simple. Someone programmed this game to, even on low graphics, demand control of the GPU. So, which is easily fixable. I mean, all they gotta do is they gotta make sure that the programs and everything in the game don't demand too much. No, don't demand too much more than is actually necessary. Especially dependent on the graphic fidelity and quality you set it to. It took almost as much as Deathwing. It would be great if the game would play as well as it looks. I mean, I will say this. When I played the game on my own time and not streamed it, it worked great. And the gameplay was visceral, it was fun, I loved the gunplay, I loved the executions, I loved the use of the Mastiff in combat, I loved the loot drop, I loved, in all accounts, I still stand by this when people ask me. I always, when people ask me, either, if they ask me specifically about Hired Gun, I say, oh, it's one of the best 40k games ever. It is. It's right up there with Dawn of War, in my opinion. This is, unironically, in my opinion, one of the best 40k games, and I stood by that. Why? Because it's fun. Yes, a lot of people will say, oh, it's a Doom ripoff. In a way, I agree. It kind of is. But Why is that a problem? It is it is essentially speaking Doom with a 40k skin. That is what Necromunda Hired Gun is. But I don't know in any universe why that's a problem. And it's visceral, it's fast-paced, there's dynamic gameplay, the gunfights are engaging and they hold your attention. They are fun. So I don't see a problem with that analogy whatsoever. I guess it's used because people say, oh, well, it's not original. I don't give a shit. If it plays great, it plays great. Yeah, I'm all for Doom ripoffs. By all means, give me more. I would prefer it, thank you. Yeah, the only reason I always added when people ask me about Hired Gun as a well is when it came to its functionality. This game, in terms of optimization, was dog shit when it came out. Like I said, it hogged your GPU. It hogged your GPU. So if you didn't have a decent PC or console, like a newer console, I would have said no. Don't get this game, don't play it. Though it is one of the best 40k games ever, it is optimally shit. And I haven't played it since towards the beginning of the year. I'm really hoping they've had plenty of time to fix the bugs, fix the optimization issues, patch the fuck out of the problems, and finally, what I should have played, what I should have streamed, mind you, back on launch, will now be possible. And again, I haven't upgraded my PC at all this last year. So, this stream to the last time I touched Necromunda, the difference is all on the dev side. Same Doom ripoff? Well, every game is a ripoff. Well, what that means in this specific case is of 2016's, because I do, when people say Hired Gun is a bit of a ripoff from Doom 2016, I kind of agree, in the sense that aesthetically it's very similar, speed-wise it's very similar, and the way they implement the FPS mechanics is very similar, but none of that is a bad thing. Like, I wouldn't even really call it a ripoff. I'd say it's more of a Doom-styled game, because I think that's a more accurate way to put it. Yes, it's got the same feel, it's got the same vibe. Aesthetically, it's not too different, but it does differentiate itself. It does differentiate itself. Yeah, I can't say that word for some reason. It does differentiate itself. There we go, in all the right ways. So I think you know, saying it's a Doom ripoff shouldn't be a negative if it is. But regardless, it's not really a ripoff as much as it is it's using that same style that Doom 2016 kind of brought back to the gaming sphere. So I'd say it's Doom 2016 styled with a 40k skin. And I love, that's the thing. I've never lambasted the game. I've lambasted the optimization of the game. This is still by far one of my favorite 40k games ever made. Right up there with Dawn of War. The only problem with it is it has that same bug and same disease that all games have nowadays, where they release it incredibly poorly optimized, they release it with an immense amount of bugs, and they also release it when it crashes on people if they blink wrong. Everything was on the technical side, nothing on the design side. The design of this game is great. I stand by that. Anyway, we're 14 minutes in. I gave my spiel. Let's see if after a year they finally optimized its GPU hogging issue. All right. So this is the test one I did last night. We're gonna start over with slot number 2. Here we go.
The guilders run the Underhive. Without the Merchants Guild, there's no order to life down here. No one to stop things unraveling completely. You're thinking there's no order down here anyway. But you just don't see it. Order is what every ganger down here is looking for. Just an order they can change. One where they can get to be top dog. The big boss man. Not just a pro laboring away, toiling for house, hive, and throne. Order down here is different. Nobody wants the enforcers, or worse, coming down here, trying to make things the way they are up in Hive City. So we all follow the Guilder's rules. Without them, it all breaks down. No one kills a Guilder unless they're truly dangerous or truly desperate. And the truly desperate are the most dangerous of all. That's why I think we can help each other out. We're going to earn ourselves that bounty for taking down whoever killed Maro Virax, and we're going to put things back the way they should be. You see, we're agents of order, the likes of us, even if we do get to sow a little strife along the way. You in? Trust me.
Well, my other gripe was the voice for Cal Jericho. Not at all fitting for the character from the comics. I had the benefit of going into this not knowing the comics, so I have no history with the character. So the voice for me is neither here nor there. I apologize. I don't know. Throat-wise has been one of my weirder days with my cold. Alright. So far, so good. Doesn't look like we're losing too many frames. Alright. Now this is about where last time I played the game that there was some major frame issues. So this will be a damn good spot to see this. And again, I'm playing on pretty much max settings, graphic-wise. Yeah, I'm playing on epic settings. Alright, are you guys noticing any frame issues so far? Alright, everything's clear on my end. How are you guys doing? How's the stream looking? Not perfect, but not choppy. Alright, so what do you mean by not perfect? Give me some details. Because saying not perfect doesn't help me. Like, was there some frame drops? What are we looking at? Start a fight. Okay. I love that man's beard. That guy kind of looks like the Inquisitor from Space Marine. Very loosely, though. Mainly it's just because of the hair waff. Doesn't look like straight 60 FPS.
This is it.
Yeah. You sure?
Positive. The Black Serpents are holed up in there.
You sure about this?
Sure they're in there, or sure about getting it done? Relax. It's just a few ashes. Then, payday.
And then... payday.
Okay. But be ready for anything.
We are. They can't defend all the approaches. They come in from both sides. And from the down floor. You two, this level. I'm heading down.
You and the hound, then?
Yeah. Okay. This is it. Let's go.
Well,
See the
comparison.
sentries.
Yeah, a comparison I like to make in
Wait
reference
till I'm on the
to
ground. Then take out as many as you can.
in terms of parts of how like the game feels. I like to compare it to. I don't know if you guys have played it. You guys remember Rage 1, the original Rage? It was id Software FPS. It kind of reminds me a little bit of that in parts, which Rage is a
Let the hunt begin.
is a little bit of a guilty pleasure of mine, because I know that the first Rage a lot of people really didn't like, and for stupid reasons in my opinion, like not gameplay issues, but more that because of the pop-in rendering, people were like, ah, this game is shit. Really? Like, the game itself had very fluid gunplay, the FPS was fun, the story was interesting. Yeah, it wasn't as in-depth as it could have been, but it was a pretty solid game for the time, I thought. Certainly not worth vitriol. AJ Gamer, welcome to stream. Unblast Heretics. Time to blast some gangers in the Hive City. In Necromunda. Alright. So you guys say so far, no frame issues. The moment you guys see any, let me know, and hopefully you guys won't have to say that anything.
So this is Asher territory.
Alright, how's the Ogren look? Alright, so those are some pretty quick movements. I don't see any frame dips. Wait, hold on. I did see a frame dip there. Keep my eye on that. Negotiate.
Open this rust damn door!
So 40k style of negotiation. Do what I say or I'll kill you and beat you up. Augmatics for power armor? Yeah, that is true. But the thing is, when it comes to the video games, I know some people would disagree, but I don't really expect them to be too lore accurate. I don't think I've ever checked up here. Oh, no, okay, so that's all that is. Yeah, I was just going back.
I'm in. Let's do it. See you at the prize.
Alright.
The boss told us to stay in. So we stay in. This is our Here comes the Elmos teeth.
past the first sentries coming in from the north. You see anything yet?
Plenty. Keep going.
Shank right through the brain. Bye-bye. Yeah, when we did some benchmarking tests last night on Discord, the execution I had on her was I sliced her head off, so I suppose a shank through the brain is a faster way to go. Get him, boy.
Looking for something?
You got her in the jugular.
Leto! Was that you? Where are you? Third level. There's someone else down here, and it ain't no Escher. That's not me. Stay alert.
Striker. Well, that was handled. Thank you, ladies, for your time. Boom, headshot. The Emperor is not pleased. I keep forgetting it's E. I keep wanting to press F for some reason. Shank through the brain!
I'm getting close.
Alright.
Hurry! I don't like this.
You really wish there was an FPS counter for the video? Alright. So does that mean well, if you need the counter, does that mean there was a significant drop, or does that mean there was a slight one to the point where you weren't sure if it was an actual drop? Slight drops. Okay. Let's try this real quick one. Let's drop everything down to high. See if that'll remove the problem.
Oh, I see you! Bring it to me!
That was a bit too fluid of an execution. I shot her in the head, she would flang that way. Damn it. Wait, what? Why didn't the execution... There we go. Apparently they didn't touch this. I mean, it's not the biggest issue in the world. I don't mind wicked, crazy ragdolls. As long as it functions. Alright.
We've got
Main.
There's dozens of them. What the hell? Heavily armed too. I'm gonna hold him here until.
Didn't hold him too well, did he?
Fatal! Where are you? Leto! What the hell's going
Leto
on?
and Leto.
I heard. I'm on my way.
Can't handle a few, Escher. What's going on, Leto?
It's not!
I still stand by that our main character here sounds like Ball with a more gruff voice.
Go to hell! I'm in it.
Down! Leto! Leto! Should have done this alone. Knew it. Always work alone.
Let the brute have a little fun.
Bring it, fat boy. execution. Oh, the Emperor! Hey, big boy? Yeah. Scuffed? I'm not sure. Again, it's been almost a year, but everything so far looks similar. Oh, you gotta keep in mind, I also played on low graphics in my very first couple stream attempts. So everything looks scuffed or rough the last time I streamed it. I'm just gonna scope. There we are. And that's it. Alright, so through that whole sequence, how bad would you guys say the drops were? Because you mentioned that there were drops. Like someone oiled him up.
Who's there?
Oh, you know me.
Damn. Jericho. Where am I?
Martyr's End.
Martyr's End.
Martyr's End. Beyond Thorian's Dome, beyond the bad zones of Delta 7. Far from where you want to be, I'll wager. But a better place than you'd be in otherwise, I can assure you.
Better than I would be if I hadn't met you.
I saved your life.
Feels like you did a great job.
Definitely sounds like Ball with a
I
gruff
suppose it all
voice.
depends on what you imagine being dead feels like. You seem keener than you should be on finding out.
Enough of the riddle, Spire Boy. What happened?
There's time for all that later. You're gonna hurt yourself straining like that. Remember, you only just made it this far. I'm gonna leave you with my friend here. There's a watering hole right outside, the Blessed Temple, they call it. You can find me there when you're ready.
Ready for what?
That's the fun part. Finding out.
Alright, so we're going to take a second real quick. I'm going to pull up the stream proper, other than the preview I have right here, and see if I see the frame rate drops. Real quick, I'm going to pull up... Alright. I see what you guys mean. And at times it looks like it is 60 FPS. And then I move too much and it drops. Well, I will say this much. They have definitely optimized it way more. The drops don't seem to be anywhere near as bad. But I don't think it's going to be a comfortable watch experience for most audience members to watch a stream this scuffed. Like, when the drops are this regular, even if they're not as bad as it was, it's still not something I want to stream with. So, unfortunately, I think we're going to have to say this is the only Necromunda. This is probably the last time I stream Necromunda Hired Gun. Which is unfortunate. I was hoping that the optimization would be good enough, but yeah, again, I'm watching what you guys were watching, and yeah, there's definitely times where the frame rate is at 60, but then I move too much, shoot too much, do a takedown. It doesn't look like there's any kind of consistent action I perform that results in frame drops. So it looks pretty scuffed on my end. Wasn't bad? It looks pretty bad on my end. Yeah, I mean, I'm watching the footage right now. It's like outside of combat, it doesn't look bad at all. But then I get into combat, then I move around, and it drops to like 20 frames, 25 frames a second. Well, it is fun to play as I stand by. Maybe if I hear about some major optimization issue in the future that they go through, I'll try it one more time. But I don't know, drops like that are still. I don't like to see that. I prefer to see smooth with the rare occasional drop, but it's looking like there's looks like there's pretty consistent drops. No, it's fine, and I appreciate you not wanting to sound negative. But yeah, it's just I do need to prioritize. You know, for me, it's still a fun game to play. There's no drops in game; it's just in the stream, so it's only a streaming problem. So I guess I'll end this stream off here and simply say they've optimized it a lot more. Clearly, they've improved it to the point where I can play in Epic Graphics and stream it at all, but unfortunately, it still has these major drops. It's still a little bit of a GPU hog, according to just the fact that it's still having those issues. So, this isn't the end of the streaming today. I'm actually gonna start a stream of Far Cry 5 in a little bit. I'm actually gonna get a really late or early dinner, I guess, and then we're gonna start a late night stream of Far Cry 5, and I'll probably stream that until late tonight, and then stream it again tomorrow, most likely anyway. And outside of that, thank you guys so much for watching. And again, Hired Gun's a great game. Works great as a game. Unless you want to stream it, then not so much. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, have a good one.